Since the launch of Battlefield Hardline looms overhead, a lot of people are wondering what's changed in Hardline since the previous beta, and what better way to find out than to give me ad revenue? In this video, we'll cover how tasers and arrests function in the recently launched public beta. Tasers have changed a lot from the previous beta. They now kill in one shot rather than stunning, and the corpse can be interrogated after a few seconds. In the old beta, a taser just stunned them for a few seconds, and then they could get back up, but now it's a one-hit kill. Despite switching weapons and avoiding a second taser shot, all my targets hit by the taser have died by the taser. Previously, you had to hold down the fire button after hitting someone, or fire a second time to actually kill someone with it, but now there seems to be no effect at all from holding the trigger down. Also, the sights have been changed and will light up when pointing at a target if in range. The range is currently being demonstrated on screen for those visual spatial learners out there. However, the range is relatively short and cannot hit targets past the demonstrated distance. The taser also seems to be quieter than the original version, and doesn't seem to have a firing indication on the minimap. It's so quiet, in fact, that I've yet to have anyone notice that I'm shooting at them when I use the taser, to the extent that entire squads can be wiped out without even seeming to notice you. But that can happen with any weapon if you come across a few tunnel vision snipers, so maybe that's not saying much. However, it should be noted that despite this, it might not be a preferable weapon for a professional kit, that's the recon class, as the taser is now considered a sidearm for all classes rather than a gadget. While this is a relatively small sacrifice for enforcers, mechanics, and operators, for professionals, your machine pistol is what has to be traded out, and that's pretty much your only close-quarters fighting power. On the PC version, tasers now grant points when you hit someone on a ladder, however the body still cannot be interrogated. Hopefully this is fixed by launch, though. Now, as for arrests, they seem to have been improved, albeit slightly. While the spotting radius isn't clearly marked, it is at least fairly large, clearly covering the majority of the map on more compact modes like Heist. Additionally, targets spotted by the arrest that get killed now award assist points to the person that did the interrogation. Only 25, though. On that subject, let's talk point gain and how often you'll actually use a taser or plan to hunt for arrests. Can running around and arresting people be helpful to the team? Yes. Is it a competitive means of generating points? No. The spot duration is fairly brief, and I feel points gained from interrogation assists should be at least double what they are now. The most assist points I've obtained thus far from an interrogation is 125, but it's much more common to get between 50 and 0, even in Heist mode. If you are playing a meat grinder map, even if you're a mediocre infantryman, the time spent waiting for the tase to wear off and then conducting the interrogation could easily translate to time spent running off to a different area of the map and shooting a few people with a shotgun, or tossing some ammo packs, etc. And if you were focused on just farming out points, you'd probably ignore the taser as well as arresting in general, unless an opportunity was happened across. The taser is a high-risk opportunity creator. If there's one sentence that defines the taser and one thing you take from this review, it's that line right there. Yes, it provides useful awareness, but that's not always going to give you kills you wouldn't have had already if you're in a flanking position. Then there's the interrogation risk and time expenses, since you do need to stand around the body while interrogating. It could help a newer player learn how enemies move, though. While it does one-hit kill, it can only fire once without reloading, its range is more limited than shotguns, its projectile velocity is slow, and infantry move pretty fast in Hardline, so if you miss the first shot, you're in a bad situation that a normal pistol would have better protected you in. Unless you're deliberately going for stealth and want the taser or its arrest as a direct result, or are guarding a door or some similar task where it becomes tactically useful, you're not going to use it as if it were any sort of primary or secondary weapon. Players who use a taser are probably going to sit in one of two categories. A, they take it as their sidearm because they're confident enough that in a fight where their primary weapon is empty and they swap to their pistol, that they will be able to make that one shot, or they think it's worth the risks. And category B, people who flank a lot, guard doors a lot, or try to be stealthy and ambush people, and want the one-hit kill, or want the extension on the range needed to arrest, which otherwise would require melee range, or want to arrest a group faster than melee would allow, etc. Both of these are viable, but are not for everyone, and it may just come down to what mood you're in or what mode you're playing. And you are supposed to be playing games for fun, right? Hopefully by this point you have all the information you need to come to a conclusion on if the taser is right for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, blah blah, insert generic end of video pandering here, and I'll see you next time. Later, YouTube.